Can you imagine a legitimate Brazilian magician pulling the strings at the racecourse? I'm not talking about a lower league journeyman. I'm talking about a player rated at £12 million. A man who has torn Premier League defences apart, being tipped to join the Red Dragons in January. It sounds absolutely mental, doesn't it? It sounds like something from a video game. But when a former Tottenham Hotspur beast drops a name like this, you have to sit up and listen. We are talking about a potential signing that would shatter transfer records and send a message to the entire football world that Wrexham aren't just here to take part, they are here to take over. But before we get to that absolute bombshell that has got the rumour mill spinning out of control, we have to talk about the man who makes it all tick. The Gaffer has just hit a massive milestone, and the way the lads responded on the pitch, it tells you everything you need to know about the spirit in that dressing room. And oh mate, we need to have a serious, possibly painful conversation about Paul Mullin. The hero is coming home, but under a massive dark cloud. There is a contract detail buried in this news that could change everything for his season. Grab a brew, because this is gonna get heavy.
Let's start right in the thick of the action. You cannot write a better script for Phil Parkinson than what happened at Pride Park. 250 games in charge. Do you know how rare that is in modern football? Managers get sacked after 5 bad games these days. But Parkinson isn't just surviving, he is thriving. We went to Derby County. This isn't a little trip to a village team, this is Derby away. A massive stadium, a hostile crowd, a team with pedigree. And what did Wrexham do? They absolutely turned up. A 2-1 victory that wasn't just luck, it was a statement. It marks the 4th victory in a row, 4 on the bounce in the championship. We are sitting 9th in the table, 9th, just 1 single point away from the playoff places. If you had told any Wrexham fan 5 years ago that we'd be 1 point off the Premier League playoffs after beating Derby away, they'd have had you committed. The game started like a house on fire. Wrexham looked like the team in form from the first whistle. We could have scored twice before we actually did. But then in the 25th minute, bang! Sam Smith. We need to talk about Sam Smith. Since he came in, he's been that clinical presence we needed. A close-range finish, a proper striker's goal. He was in the right place, at the right time, sniffing out the danger. That is what you pay the money for. But Derby, fair play to them, they came back. Ben Brereton Diaz, we know he's dangerous, levelled it up just 8 minutes later from inside the area. At that moment you're thinking, okay, 1-1 at Pride Park, holding on for a draw would be a decent result. But this Wrexham side, they don't play for draws. 48th minute, just after half-time, the ball falls to Matty James outside the box. What happens next is pure quality. A superb strike, a screamer. It settled the match. Matty James, take a bow, son. That is the kind of quality that separates the Championship from League One. And listen to the Gaffer afterwards. You can hear the emotion in his voice. He said, to get to 250 at any club, I'm very proud of that, because management is hard, but I'm really enjoying my time here. He's right, management is brutal, it ages you. But look at what he said next. We've got great owners and I enjoy every single day. When you reach those milestones, it's always great if you can celebrate with a victory. This is the key. Parkinson acknowledges the expectation. He knows the pressure is immense because the world is watching, but he talks about building another dressing room this year. That is a fascinating line. It implies that the culture is evolving. It's not just the National League spirit anymore, it's a championship mentality. Beating Derby away isn't a fairy tale, it's a professional, disciplined performance. We are building momentum at the most critical part of the season. The playoffs are right there. The dream is actually becoming tangible. But as we look up the table, we have to look at a situation developing in the background that is going to tug at every Wrexham fan's heartstrings. Right, take a deep breath. This one is complicated, and it hurts a bit. The club has officially confirmed it. Paul Mullin is coming back to the racecourse. But this isn't the triumphant return we all dreamed of, is it? It's not a hero returning to save the day parade. It's a loan cut short. Wigan Athletic have activated the break clause. Let's be honest, it didn't work out. Mullin went to the League One outfit on a season-long loan, and look at the stats. 26 appearances, 5 goals. For a man of his calibre, that is below par. But the real kicker is how it ended. He hasn't played since December 20th. He came on as a sub in a defeat to Blackpool, and since then, left out of the squad completely by Ryan Law for the last 4 matches. Imagine that. Super Paul Mullin, the man who carried Wrexham on his back, not even making the bench for Wigan. It's baffling. But here is the massive, massive problem. And this is the detail you need to understand right now, because it dictates everything that happens in January. FIFA rules. Mullin has played for Wigan this season. If he plays even 1 single second for Wrexham in upcoming matches, he's locked in. The rule states you can be registered for 3 clubs, but only play for 2 in a single season. So here is the scenario. Mullin is back. He's training, but if Phil Parkinson puts him on the pitch to get a few minutes or to try and spark a goal, Paul Mullin cannot move to another club on loan. He would be stuck at Wrexham until the summer. The club statement was very specific. They said they will explore all possible options. What does that mean? It means they are scrambling. Do they keep him? Is he championship ready? The harsh reality of football is that sentiment doesn't win you games. We love Mullin. He's a legend, statue-worthy. But does he fit into this high-intensity, counter-pressing system that just beat Derby? If he stays and doesn't play, it's a tragedy for him. If he plays and isn't up to the level, it hurts the team. However, if they want to loan him out again, maybe to a League Two side where he can bang in 15 goals and get his confidence back, they cannot play him in the meantime. He has to sit in the stands. It's a game of poker. The transfer window is open. The clock is ticking. Mullin is 31 years old now. He needs to play football. The romantic in me wants him to come back, score a hat-trick and lead us to the Premier League. But the cynic in me sees a player who couldn't get into a Wigan side and wonders if the Championship is a step too far right now. It's a brutal situation. A club legend in limbo. The next few days are going to be absolutely critical for his career. If you see his name on the team sheet this weekend, you know he's staying. If he's absent, he's gone. It's that simple. But while we worry about an outgoing legend, a former Premier League star has just thrown a grenade into the rumour mill about who should be coming in.
This is where things get properly spicy. This is the kind of talk that makes you realise just how massive Wrexham has become globally. We've got Sandro. Do you remember Sandro? The Beast? Played for Tottenham for 4 years. Absolute tank in the midfield. Capped by Brazil. A proper player. He's been speaking out, and he hasn't just said Wrexham should sign some good players. No, he has dropped a specific name. A name that carries a £12 million price tag. Sandro believes Wrexham need to go out and sign Mateus Pereira. Now, if you follow English football closely, you know exactly who this is. Mateus Pereira was absolute mustard at West Bromwich Albion. In the Championship, he was unplayable. Even in the Premier League, he was the shining light in a struggling team. He's currently 28, turning 29. He's in his prime. He's playing for Cruzeiro in the Brazilian Serie A, a top league. He's a number 10, a playmaker, a magician. Sandro put it simply. Mateus likes to play like a number 10. He's a good footballer. He has played in Europe before. He's a real baller. A real baller. That is putting it mildly. Pereira is the kind of player who can unlock a defence with a look. Wrexham are solid. We are disciplined. But do we have that pure, chaotic creativity? That X factor that turns a 0-0 draw into a win? That is what Pereira brings. But let's look at the reality here. Transfermarkt values him at around £12 million. That is serious money. That is Premier League money. Can Wrexham afford that? Well, Sandro thinks the Wrexham factor is worth more than just cash. He points to the documentary. He says the show is a hit all over the world, even in Brazil. He said Brazilian players already love to come over here anyway. When the Wrexham show started to run, I think it was a hit all over the world because it's a beautiful story. This is the power of the brand. Players want to be part of the project. Sandro reckons that if Wrexham continue to climb, and remember, we are 1 point off the playoffs, the allure of the Premier League becomes a massive carrot. If they make it to the Premier League, not just in Brazil, but around the world, everyone loves the Premier League. It's unbelievable. It's the best league in the world. Imagine the scenes. Mateus Pereira, a player who's terrorised Chelsea and Manchester City defences, rocking up at the Racecourse on a Tuesday night. It feels like a fantasy, doesn't it? But think about where we were 3 years ago. Everything about Wrexham feels like a fantasy until it actually happens. Sandro isn't just some random pundit. He knows the Brazilian market. He knows the mindset of these players. Pereira has already played in the Midlands. He knows the English game. He wouldn't need time to adapt to the weather or the physicality. He's done it. Is it audacious? Yes. Is it expensive? Incredibly. But Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney haven't come this far to be timid. If there's a chance, a 1% chance to sign a player of this quality in January, you have to look at it. A creative number 10 is exactly what takes a team from playoff contenders to automatic promotion threats. We have the grit, we have the goal scorers like Sam Smith, we have the engine room with Matty James. But a conductor, a maestro, that is the missing piece of the puzzle. Sandro has thrown the gauntlet down. He's told the world, go get Mateus Pereira. Now the question is, do the owners have the nerve to pull off the biggest shock in Championship history? Because if this happens, the rest of the league might as well pack up and go home. It's going to be a wild January. Buckle up, Reds. The ride is only getting faster.